So I think I'm going to run it pretty much in order. I'm not going to try to pick and choose anything right. I'm just going to run it straight from the top. So, Arby's. Their curly fries don't carry them that much. I was hovering over the D because when they have fresh curly fries, they're pretty good. But honestly, the only two places that have curly fries that are local to me are Arby's and Jack in the Box. Jack in the Box always gives me the shit, so that might be foreshadowing, but never been a big fan of Arby's at all. My list is already wrong. I'm telling you, I'm going to have some really hot takes. I might lose followers and views and subscribers. I dropped 20 as soon as I shit-talked Arby's. Ready for it? That's funny. Checkers. I think I had one in Tucson. White background possible on the tier? Can I? I don't think so. Choose a label background color. I don't think I can. No, I don't think I can change that. Checkers. I don't remember hating it. I don't remember adoring it. No, wait. If this is the place I think it is, it's a B. It's probably a low B for me. If it's the place that I think it is, I'd have to talk to my dad. No, I'm not. I'm actually not going to rate it that low. So keeping in mind, a lot of these pizza places are going to be based on flavor and not on my lactose intolerance. And also going into this, price is a factor. It's not exclusively flavor. It's the entire experience. Now, that being said, well, if he held me at gunpoint and said have Arby's or have Jack in the Box, this is very suspect to drop. This is a D, but you're on thin ice. Because I like the way their cheeseburgers taste because they run mayo in them. And not a lot of other places do. But is it really good food if it makes you shit your brains out all the time? I don't think so. D, but we'll come back to it later. If the tier list gets too bloated. Jimmy John's. It's safe. This could be a D. I have stronger negative opinions about other sandwich places, so it'll hang out there for now. I'm pretty flexible on that one. Sonic. The last time I've been to one, it's probably been since I lived in Arizona. So it's been a while. At least 8 years. But their cherry limeade. Oh, the cherry limeade. The burgers are good. I appreciate the novelty of pulling up. It's a B. It's a B. It's pretty good. I have only fond memories of it, but I like other places more. So pretty chill on that. Whataburger. Okay. Now this is interesting because if you're rating Whataburger and you haven't been to a Texas Whataburger, your opinion is automatically going to be flawed. Because I don't know what they do with the Whataburgers out in Texas. People will go for blood if you rate it anything less than an A. But here's the thing. My one experience I had with Whataburger in Tucson, I paid $9.50 for a value meal, and I wasn't even full on it. It's a C. It was a good meal, but we're getting almost double digits in a moderately cheap town for food. I don't know, man. I just don't know. Not a value meal if it breaks double digits. White Castle, never been. But if I can, now like I said, I'm soft on this. I'll have to match it up with my other sandwich takes here. Cause is Subway on here? Ooh, okay. Panera. What sandwich places do I have to rate it against? Is Quiznos on here? Firehouse Subs is on here. Let me. Oh, you know what? It wasn't Checkers. It was Cheddar's. Cheddar's was the place I went to. Cheddar's is actually an A for me. That was pretty good. IHOP. Y'all are gonna hate me for this one. Maybe? I don't know. How much is Jersey Mike's here? Let me see. How is Jersey Mike's not on here? Am I missing it? Am I blind? I don't think Jersey Mike's is on here. One stark difference that me and my girlfriend have. My girlfriend, she doesn't fuck with breakfast food at all. She's not big on it. I will eat breakfast at 10 p.m. I will eat breakfast food any hour of the day. And when you put this next to Denny's, I'm sorry. Denny's is, depending on the Denny's you go to, it can be good, but IHOP is a super solid A tier for me. I fuck with IHOP hard. Love it. Papa John's. Papa John's is wildly inconsistent. Are we assuming that they serve me the best pie that they can, or do I base it on every single experience that I've had with Papa John's? I have two different calibrations here. Because I've had some honest to God, sincerely good pies from Papa John's. But when they miss the mark, they miss the mark hard. They can't even slice an even slice. It's a flexible C. It's a flexible C for sure. This one's going to be a weird play here. Now here, if you held me to a gun and you said, would you have Jack in the Box or Papa John's? I'd already be drop kicking down the front door to Papa John's. And I am lactose intolerant. Now here, I have some backstory behind this one. And this is why this is going to be a weird take. But I worked an incredibly stressful desk job for like 3.5 years, 4 years. I lost my mind. This was the closest fast food place. And I would try to take my breaks in the office because it was cheaper, but I got paid lunch breaks and that I didn't have to clock out. So my lunch hour was actually paid for by the company. So every now and then I'd spoil myself and I'd go somewhere close. And Panda was one of those places. So when I needed to decompress, I would go to Panda. So Panda is kind of like my bonfire for that period of my life that I worked at that place. And I recognized that the food is not that great. It was in a really seedy area of town. But it gets the C shield, as in I cannot rate it anything lower than a C. It is a solid B- based on the fact it was my solace from a shitty job. Otherwise, if it didn't have those experiences attached to it, I'd probably rate it a high D. But there's a lot of nostalgia tied to it. So, fight me if you want to. I don't care. I will die on the hill that Panda Express is a low B for me. Like, if you ask for if you can get it fresh at the mall, too. That's kind of underrated. Like, if you're starving, you've been walking around the stores for like 3 hours, and you're like, I just want something. That orange chicken is never going to let you down. There's a reason that every person in the United States automatically thinks Asian restaurants are supposed to have orange chicken. And Asian restaurants stock something similar to orange chicken. Panda Express was that influential. It is a very small hill. You know what? It's mine. I don't want neighbors on it. Popeyes, you ready? Easy S. Easy S. I don't go there that often, but fellas, I fuck with spicy chicken so hard. Easiest S of my life here. I don't care that it costs like $12 for a meal because I'm not there that often. The closest one's like half an hour for me. But if I'm in town and I have friends that want to go to Popeyes, I'm going to Popeyes. I'm going to Popeyes. Easily the best fast food chicken out there. So easy. All right, ready? Little Caesars. High D. High D, low C. If Papa John's has a sale... No, you know what? Here, I'll put it above Jack in the Box. But you know what you're getting into when you order it. And you know what? They have other stuff other than pizza. Yeah, okay. They got crazy bread. They got stuff. I like the marinara sauce, too. It's not just about the hot and ready pizza. There's more of an experience to it other than that. So, all right. You know what? They earn their stripes. I'll give them a C. I'll even put them above Papa John's out of spite. So, Sure. Zaxby's? Never been. Unfortunately. Ooh. Ooh, this is a hot take. This next one coming up, this is where I split the waters. So, in my area of town, there was more Burger Kings than McDonald's. And Burger King to me tastes like there's a very specific set of emotions it elicits, and it reminds me of a really shitty Labor Day cookout burger. And I actually really like their fries. That's probably my hottest take. I really like Burger King fries. Probably top 3 out of fast food fries for me. If you have them fresh. A tier I unsub. I'm sorry, there's some stiff competition. In my heart, I had it as a B. I have it as a B above Sonic though. It's a B+. It's the leader of the B tier right here. And I don't think they're anywhere near Jack in the Box. I think the lowest you could fairly rate Burger King is a C, and that they're okay. But given popular opinion, given a lot of other stuff, I've had a few bad experiences there. On a really good day, they could be an A-. But they're a pretty overall, they're a B. Ready? Wendy's S. Easy S. Easy fucking S. Are we kidding? Actually, that's over Popeyes. That's over Popeyes. How do you argue with the 2 for $5 spicy chicken deal with the wild berry lemonade? You get 2 spicy chicken sandwiches and the perfect way to beat the heat, that wild berry lemonade. Knock them together for less than $10? Whataburger who? No, here's the thing. Here's the thing about that $400K donation to Trump. That's not the entire corporation. Those are individually franchised restaurants on the East Coast. You can actually research that, and you can find out if your location that you frequent specifically is owned by that guy that donated $400K to Trump. And that's mostly a good amount of the East Coast ones. None of the West Coast ones have anybody associated with that. So I don't have to boycott Wendy's. Our social media team's kind of haha too. Taco Bell? Given that I can't really have 80% of the menu, because even before I was lactose intolerant, it kind of gave me the poopies. And like now that I'm lactose intolerant, it definitely gave me the poopies. Because they're open so late, I've had a lot of concert experiences where I get out at like 12:30, 1 a.m. and the car doesn't want Wendy's. I know, right? Why am I friends with people that don't want to go to Wendy's at 1 o'clock? But make a late night run for the border. This is a B- for me. I would definitely have Taco Bell over Whataburger. I would definitely have Taco Bell over any of these 3. This is where it really becomes a choice. So, they're a B. They're a pretty safe B. Subway? Ooh, I was quick on the F. Give me an argument right now. Give me a valid argument why I don't drop Subway on F. I want that in triplicate in my Twitter DMs by 6 p.m. No, I'll fight you. I'll throw down in the streets. I'm not even a fist fighter. This is an F. This is an F. It's an easy F in my area. All of the Subways I've been into are raw garbage. Anybody here from Washington State? You ever been to the Subway in the Washington State Convention Center? That shit hits differently in a bad way. I feel like you eat that and you get cursed a little bit. I'm allowed to be wrong. I said there was going to be spicy takes. Are we also forgetting about the part where their spokesperson for nearly a decade was a convicted pedophile? You're hard-pressed to move this up to a D. So, the only reason I'm so definite on that is there's another sandwich place coming up here that actually gets a high A to a low S to me. Five Guys. Five Guys, ready? Too expensive for a burger, man. Too expensive for a burger and half a sack of potatoes. Don't get me wrong, they make really good food. They make really good food. But I will plan my visits to Five Guys around whether or not I've gotten a recent paycheck. You can very easily spend double digits on yourself. And like when you ask for a small order of fries, you still get half the farm. I stopped getting medium or large order of fries for that reason. I haven't had their hot dogs, but based on their burgers, phenomenal burgers, just a hair overpriced given the rest of the competition. Applebee's. I kind of want to come back to this one, but no, it's fair. I didn't do that for anybody else. I gave them the honest review on the spot. I have to think about this because I really like their happy hour with their bonus wings and how little money you can spend if you shop correctly for such decidedly average, consistent food. And because all the Applebee's I go to are frequently like, oh, I got a raid. All of the Applebee's in the area are like dead, so I never have to wait, right? If you have to wait more than 20 minutes to get into an Applebee's, you're just in a bad area of town. This is a C for me. Their boneless wings are pretty much the only things I order, and they're pretty alright. A flexible D. But based on my past experiences and how much I love buffalo chicken, and they're like pretty good. Yeah. Annie Ann's S tier, fight me on that. High A. High A. You know why? I hate shopping malls. Where do I have to go to get an Annie Ann's? Where have you found an Annie Ann's in the wild outside of a shopping mall? They're good, but the fact I have to go to a mall? They're a pretzel place. No, Jersey Mike is not on this list. I was saying that. When's the last time I had Jersey Mike's? Okay, so if Jersey Mike's was here, which they're not, I will say right now, I would put them above Jimmy John's. Maybe. I think I'd put them a B. I think I'd give them a B. They're definitely a consistent cut above Jimmy John's. Annie Ann's, I have very fond memories of because mall employees got large sodas for 45 cents. So whenever I would go to the food court when I worked at the GameStop in the mall, I'd have my name tag on, and they'd always give me 45-cent large sodas, and I'd usually need the caffeine too. And they offer me, I think, like 30% discounts off of the pretzels. So that was like super hype. I think based on memories, they could be a low S too. If S gets a little low, I could move them up. So don't hate me yet. Chili's? Haven't been to Chili's in a while. No, sorry. I have a new chat bot. I'm going to adjust the settings on that. Do we still have 100 viewers? It says 79 on my end, but I think it's a little flexible. Chili's. Oof. Hi, welcome to Chili's. And also, I feel God in this Chili's tonight. Meme place. Love it. But I haven't been to a Chili's in like a decade. I think... Now, keeping in mind, I have not been to a Chili's in about a decade. Last time I went to Chili's, I wasn't old enough to drink. This is a low C. Probably right below Applebee's. I can't say... So here's the thing, right? Here's how I justify this. If you said, would you rather go to Chili's or Jack in the Box? There's an easy choice there. Chipotle. Given the fact that I grew up in a Hispanic household, this is getting a little dicey. What happened there in that raid? If they knew how to build a better burrito, I'd put them in A, actually. Every time I eat their burritos, it's a constant layer. I have to navigate through the sour cream river to get to Beanland. And then all of a sudden, I'm in the rice fields. And at the very heel of the burrito, all of a sudden, there's all my steak? Come on, man. They gotta build better burritos. 1864. Just the ones that I've been to, they never know how to build them correctly. So that's why they're there. I will give that criticism. Dude, this Genesect is giving me the shits. I started ordering rice bowls, and that's why Qdoba hits a little bit different. Is that on here? Is Qdoba on here? I don't think Qdoba's on here. Also, we have a controversial take coming up real soon. But Qdoba's not on here. Qdoba's rice bowls actually, those hit really good. Qdoba's a B. Above Chipotle, above Taco Bell, above Panda Express. Actually, yeah, Qdoba I think is top of B tier. If I want a rice bowl, I go to Qdoba. If I want a burrito, I go to Chipotle, oddly enough. Did you see that ball glitch right there? Where it just like hung at the edge of the screen? Let me catch his Genesect and I'll continue. This is definitely overtime on the stream that I was not expecting. I'm kind of surprised I'm still streaming for like somewhere around 100 viewers. And I'm doing a Genesect raid in a fast food tier list. Have I become the XQC of the category? How's it going? Apparently it has, because I'm doing Genesect raids and I'm doing a fast food tier list. There's a Roggenrola too. I don't know if I do that. But how's it going? Welcome to the stream. I'm done with my GBL sets, and we hit a stretch goal, so we're doing a fast food tier list. So, definitely not normal Pokemon Go content, but hope we'll have you. Denny's. Denny's a clear step below IHOP. Not even fairly so. But also, they have that whole late night thing. You can go to them 24 hours a day. And you go to a Denny's, you mostly know what you're getting. Yeah, I've never been in a Denny's sober, dude. Oh, what's up, Bean? We're doing a fast food tier list. Do you want to see my sets? There's my sets right there. But we hit a stretch goal, so 413250 4123. Beautiful, right? Fantastic day. I'll show you the team later. It was pretty hype. Denny's. I'm between a B and a C. This really depends on how sober I am walking in. I think if you average the two, it's a C. It's a C. They're okay. They're okay. I have other places I'd go to for breakfast, but if it's late at night and one's open, yeah, why not? Might fuck around and get some Denny's. It's fine. Domino's. Domino's is a clear cut above Papa John's. For sure. I would choose Domino's over Papa John's 7 days a week. But I'm also lactose intolerant, so I don't get them that often. But here's the thing. When I say light cheese, they listen. They can do that. They're capable of listening. Now, see, S is exalted tier. Only gods are allowed to walk up here. A is Hercules when he got dipped all the way in, except for like that one part of his body. S is true divinity. We don't take S rankings lightly here. Domino's sits at a low A. Pretty consistently in my area, they do $5.99 carryout. And they have really good wings. Actually good wings. And I have trouble finding good wings. Cece's. Last time I went to Cece's, I was like 17. And this is the place that does the buffet, right? Where you walk in and then you pay like X amount and you just have as much pizza until you shit your brains out. I think that's what they do, right? And they have like the macaroni pizza and stuff too. I have fond memories of this place with my cousins because we would actually have eating contests. We'd go out here and we would have carb comas. So we'd pack up the car, and we would drive out to a CC's, empty stomachs completely, have not eaten anything all day. And loser picks up the bill for third place. We're kind of a diet version. So you didn't want to be last, because if you were last, you were paying double. And I was kind of decent at these. I was usually second or third. And they had some good stuff. But that was a quantity versus quality place, you know? It's a C. It's a C. It's below Papa John's. Hardee's. Ooh. Hardee's, also known as Carl's Jr. in my neck of the woods. I grew up on this. For those of you guys that know me specifically for making content creation back in the day of YouTube, back after high school, my folks got divorced, and I lived with my dad for a little bit. And when I lived with my dad, we had an apartment together, and that apartment was next to a teriyaki place, and across the street from it was a Carl's Jr., also known as a Hardee's. So what I would do, he would leave every weekend because his then fiance lived in Mexico. And so he would be gone a lot of weekends. But he would leave me money on the counter and say, hey, here's $20 for the weekend. No, he gave me 40 actually. He gave me 40. You don't have to give me change back, but here, have a good weekend. So like Friday to Sunday night, $40 for 3 days. I could get whatever fast food I wanted. So it was fun. Like I would go get this for lunch. I'd go to school on Fridays. I'd come back and I'd get Hardee's. My dad would be gone. So I actually ate there a lot. And I think Hardee's is actually like a deluxe Burger King. Their double Western bacon cheeseburgers are to die for. Crisp cut fries, actually goated. And if you like zucchini, they have fried zucchini. I'm not big on it, but I know a lot of people that are. They're an A. They're actually a very competitive A. I think I put them over IHOP. I talk about them a lot. I put them over Cheddar's. I even put them over Annie Ann's. They're tickling Five Guys right in the balls. Good. Good stuff. Legitimately good stuff. Now, on the other hand, we got a real juggernaut here. Whew. This is the demigod of S. This is the lowest S tier I will allow on this list, but I think it's unfair to rate it anything lower than S. But the fries. The fries, man. If you have the fries anywhere after 5 minutes, they're trash. Throw the whole order out. Actually awful food. I should have chat on this, because this would actually make a really good YouTube highlight. I might try to screen record this later. Or, yeah, I could do that, actually. Just make a highlight for it and then download it. But I don't think a highlight's downloaded with the chat. I would just have to specifically play it. So I'll make a highlight and I'll screen record it. So it'll be different. It'll be fun. This will be fun to have on YouTube. KFC. But yeah, In-N-Out, if you haven't been to an In-N-Out, the thing with them is they definitely sacrifice quantity of items on the menu for quality. They do their very few things unfairly well. They're amazing. I love them every time I go. And the prices are incredible too. They're the Five Guys killers, I'd say. Only difference is Five Guys actually has decent to like pretty good fries. In-N-Out, if you don't eat the fries fresh, you got to eat the fries right as you go. You cannot take In-N-Out food home and expect your French fries to be good. They don't heat well either. I even tried tossing them in a toaster once, which is not good. But they're really good fresh. KFC. Y'all ever had a Famous Bowl on a rainy day? I'm talking downpouring. Frigid cold in the winter outside. And you go get your KFC Famous Bowl. And you get some other stuff. I think the Famous Bowl is amazing. It's actually an A. Wait. Where are the other chickens? Popeyes is S? Yeah, KFC is A. A's good. A's good. I like that. Buffalo Wild Wings. Is Wingstop not on here? Church's Chicken is on here. We can come back to that later. Fight against expectations. Admit that Buffalo Wild Wings is S tier. I'll support you. No. In my heart of hearts, I cannot give Buffalo Wild Wings an S tier. There is no reason in the past why I've had to wait an hour and a half for an order of 9 boneless wings. Consistently. This is a repeat occurrence every time I go to this place. Their food's really good. Their food is really good. But their service is some of the worst in the continental United States I've ever been to. That actually, they would actually probably be high A, low S. But their service actually knocks them down to a mid B for me. And I'm super biased towards fast food as well, towards buffalo wings as well. Like, if you ask me my favorite food, you ask my girlfriend my favorite food, it's Buffalo Wild Wings. Or no, it's buffalo wings, not necessarily Wild Wings. But their service is trash. It's some of the worst service I've ever had. And they've gotten better. You know, maybe the law of averages will play out that I can knock this up a little bit higher. The past few times I've been, I've actually gotten my food in under 40 minutes. And I get that prepping wings can take a little while. And the size of my groups considered, you could argue like, yeah, you know what? Maybe you had a big group. No. The times I've been, they've been like 3 or 4. How do you feel about Wingstop? If Wingstop was on here, it would actually be A. I miss Wingstop so much. You guys, I got a lot of opinions about chicken wings. And Wingstop is up here. Their French fries, can we talk about their French fries? Wingstop has what In-N-Out wants. Those brown sugar French fries. I'd go back to I'd go back to Arizona just to eat Wingstop again. Wingstop hits. It's good. It's really good stuff. If you have one near you and you have not been at all, definitely do it. Definitely do it. This is all right. Are you guys ready to close off the tab? Because I'm gonna have one of. Get your oven mitts out. Here, I have a shirt right here, so I can block. No, here I have a mask. Perfect. Ready? I don't want to be held accountable for this next take. And honestly, with this next take, you might have to call me a freaking psycho in the first place. So all right, ready? Here's my Chick-fil-A take. This is the spiciest take you're gonna see ever. I will get windows broken over this. F. Solid F tier. Straight up. You're probably going to want reasons. Let me explain this. Let me explain this before you leave. I have solid vindications for this. So, you got to hear me out. We're in the United States. Everybody deserves a fair trial. Ready? This is the only restaurant in the United States I've been viciously racially discriminated at. I walked into a Chick-fil-A in Georgia, and I got reamed by a white dude. So, in terms of personal experiences, in terms of when I've been, like that one definitely doesn't hit right for me. On top of that, they were an employee. They were cleaning off the tables. And I was cleaning up. So, you know. But here's some more arguments. Ready? Ready? Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A has a slight pickle flavoring to all of their batter. We know this, right? For people that like pickles, they love eating there. They love eating there. I'm not big on pickles. I'm not big on the pickle flavor, and I feel like that's a fair opinion to have at points. But because the batter is primarily based on having a hint of pickle in everything, it overshadows the entire experience. So I'm not big on it. The other reason is these motherfuckers are outwardly homophobic on main. Like, they will straight up donate their entire CEO, like entire trickle down, that entire shit is built on anti-LGBT organizations. And I don't stand for that. I don't stand for that. But here, light promotion, low D, Low D, you're on thin ice. Those fuckers that work at Chick-fil-A will change your tire if you ask them to. This, on a scale from Buffalo Wild Wings to Chick-fil-A, how aggressively over the top nice is your service? Chick-fil-A, I will say, has amazing service. And the waffle fries are okay. I like Hardee's a little bit better as an entire experience. So here's the Chick-fil-A redemption arc. Because of people like Bean that work there that are sweethearts, and basically everybody else that's nice. I will say remind me on EG's once I get done with my Chick-fil-A right here. Because I do want to cover EG's for sure. But there's only a handful of restaurants I've been called honey, sweetie, or baby. And they've all been at Chick-fil-A for some reason. I like melt a little gushy. But fuck them and the corporation they stand on. And I like pickles either. So, Chick-fil-A, low D for me. The people that work there are what make it. Everything else that organization stands for, I don't stand for it. But, Bean, you're still alright as a person. You gotta put bread on the table. Alright, Panera. Let me change to a different track here, because I've been playing Young Bay for a while. I'm gonna go back to Lockstep. Because Lockstep is big funny. Lockstep Rhythm Heaven. No, I've been to a Denny's. But all the Denny's I've been to, yeah. That's why. Do you see Denny's here in C? Service is good. Yes, remind me about EG's. Okay, so EG's specifically is a sandwich place that is hyper-local to Tucson and I believe Phoenix. Their specialties are cold-cut sandwiches, and their signature item is a thing that's kind of similar to like a hybrid between a slushie and a snow cone, but it is a frozen treat / beverage. By the time it gets back to your car in Tucson heat, it might as well be a beverage. But I think that's cool because you can order an EG's Fizz and they'll bathe it in soda. So you get like this snow cone that's bathed in carbonation. Oh, it hits so good on a hot summer day. And then on top of that, they do these ranch fries. I don't know what... I actually think they put crack cocaine in their fucking ranch fries. In their ranch dressing in general. I would order the ranch if I could here. In bulk. Their ranch dressing, something about it is to die for. It's great. And they also do buffalo ranch fries too. If there's any way you could improve on buffalo flavor for me, add buffalo ranch to the mix. Just add ranch dressing on there. You get me a nice tall IPA, like 10 buffalo wings and like 2 ranch cups, and you put on like some Smash compilations or maybe like some Ludwig or some XQC or something on TV. I'm a happy camper. I have the bar set really low and really hyper specifically, and EG's hits all those marks for me. Really good thirst-quenching food. I'm having to describe it extra because there's not a lot of people from Tucson or Phoenix. But because I grew up there, and I was within walking distance of one, and they're everywhere. They're everywhere down there. They're great. EG's is very, very high A tier for me, actually. I think they're as high as you can get without being S tier. And the only reason I can't rate them S tier is because I can only have them when I go down to Tucson. And I'm not out there that often. I really wanted to visit my dad recently because he came down with COVID, but responsibly saying, I cannot visit my dad when he has COVID. I can't bring COVID back. But anytime I go down to Tucson, I would go to In-N-Out, I would go to EG's. There's a lot of places I go. I check the boxes off. And EG's is always one of them. We always make an effort to go to EG's. He's actually fine. He had a very mild case of it. I was worried for a little bit. But it's still testing positive in his bloodstream, so he's having trouble going back to work. Because the county regulations say you have to be negative on your test before you can go back to work or change jobs. So he actually kicked it in like maybe 3 weeks total. But he's still testing positive for it like about a month and a half later. So it's going to be in a system for a while. But anyway, that's not about the fast food. You know, that probably wasn't emotion baiting. Like, is your dad fine? Yeah, he's actually fine. So, but it's worth mentioning because like me and my dad grew up with EG's. So EG's, if I had a logo, would be right here above Five Guys. I wish I could write stuff in, like as a text document. Maybe I'll do that later. But we'll come back to this. Okay, so Panera. Panera has good food from the handful of times that I've been. But for the size of the sandwich that you get and the cup of soup and a drink, and somehow you're paying like... You're paying like, what, $10 already? Think about it. You go get your total, and then you get tax on it too, because it's just like one of those restaurants. But already you get like a half of a sandwich, and then maybe, you know, you want a cookie with that and a drink and a soup. You're already over $10. They're a C. Their price really hurts them a lot here. If they could go down maybe $1 or $2 in price, I think they would actually be pretty solid B, maybe even A tier for me. But straight up, every time somebody says you want to go to Panera, and I'm like, do I feel like spending $12 today on something that might not even fill me up that much? Maybe not. Maybe not. They're okay. Like, I can recommend them because their food tastes good, but I'm not Richie Rich here, so. It is very healthy. I will give them that. That's why they're a high C tier. I put them over Denny's. Come on, man. What kind of world am I going to live in where I put Panera below Denny's? I respect the quality of the food. Denny's has its own pros and cons, but Panera, if Panera did not have the prices that it had, I would probably put it here. But it drops down a little bit. I would actually sooner have Chipotle than Panera. I think that's pretty honest. This looks like, what is this? Lilo's Barbecue? Easily can say never been. Never been. Now, Narwhal, because you're from Tucson, I can specifically pander to you on this one. You remember the Long John Silver's on like, what is that? Like Broadway and Pantano, I think. Close to Broadway and Kolb. Like right before you get over the Pantano River. There's like, maybe I'm getting my geography a little mixed up. But there's like the Long John Silver specifically in the parking lot. And then across the fucking street, there's an EG's. That's literally shooting fish in a barrel. These guys will never get anything higher than an F as long as I grew up with a Wendy's that close to them. It's unfair. It's unfair. Plus, I live in the Pacific Northwest. I know what fresh fish tastes like. The answer is not that. The answer is not that. But Subway still does better because I can find something I'd order safely. Marco's, I've never been. This one's going to be a weird looking tier list. Yes, past the bridge close to the hospital. Yes, 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 right there. Wait, you're familiar with that? Are you from Tucson? That's interesting. But yeah, it's like kind of close to... It's close to the Pantano Wash specifically. This is going to be a fucking weird looking tier list. Because I got Chick-fil-A in D. And I got McDonald's in high A. Do you want my justification for this, or are we all just gonna accept it and move on? Because I feel like once again, I gotta get my kid gloves on. I gotta get back in the ring and justify why McDonald's is an A. This already looks weird. You really gonna disrespect chocolate? Here's the thing: the fact that I'm lactose intolerant, and Taco Bell consistently makes me go to the Boom Boom Room way more often than KFC does. I like their food, don't get me wrong, but the bathroom experience, the exit process is just as much of like a thing as the entrance process. And here's the thing, before I was lactose intolerant, Taco Bell made me poop. And after I'm lactose intolerant, here's the thing, Mexican food is and I use Taco Bell in the same sense as Mexican food in the same way that Olive Garden is Italian food. Only by definition of how the food is constructed. That's it. But Mexican food is literally the same combination of 7 to 9 ingredients. The sooner we accept this, the sooner we can understand Mexican cuisine a little bit more consistently. It is the same combination of tortillas, chicken, beans, rice, beef, hot sauce, cheese, a little bit of veggies sometimes too. Question, where am I from? Where I grew up or where was I born? Those are different. But, oh, cilantro, yeah. So cilantro is a genetic thing, in case you haven't specifically had cilantro. I feel like there are people that have given cilantro an honest try. There is a genetic disposition to some people that cilantro actually tastes herby, and it tastes how it's supposed to. And there's another half where if you have this gene or this lack of this gene, I suppose, cilantro can taste like dish soap, like actually like you're pouring Dawn on your tongue. And so people that don't like cilantro, understandable, because they have that gene that makes cilantro taste like soap to them. I'm on the side where I put cilantro in street tacos with some really finely diced onions because I love it so much. Like some little tacos de cabeza, and get like 4 little tiny tacos for like $5. Hit them with the cilantro. Hit them with the onions. Hit them with the salsa. Hit them with... What else do I hit them with? A little bit of pepper. And just drown those fuckers. Those are good. Those are good. But I like cilantro. So that's part of it. So that's good. But I have to say tacos de cabeza with an accent. I'm not going to say tacos de cabeza. Washington hasn't gotten me that much. When we get to El Pollo Loco, I love that place, actually. We'll come back to that. What was I explaining? Right, so I was at McDonald's. McDonald's, you know what you're getting every time. And for the price, it's never terrible. The iced coffee, my favorite shitty thing on the menu to love. I love a large... I might actually go get one after the stream, really. Go get a large McDonald's iced coffee. And I don't know, maybe just that. And just drive somewhere else. But I do miss the hot and spicy. But I consistently get the McDoubles. They taste good. And I get the McChicken with the buffalo sauce. Their buffalo sauce is good. It tastes good. And unsurprisingly, the quarter pounders are good. It's consistent. The thing is, it's consistent. It's available at all hours. This one, not so much because of COVID. They shortened their hours a little bit, but pre-COVID, they were open 24 hours. So this is among the goated crew that if you roll out at like 1 a.m. and you're drunk, where can you go? You can go here sometimes. You can definitely go here. You can usually go here. You can always go here. Sometimes you can go here, depending on the franchise. This place prides himself on you being able to go here, but man, I wake up with the cold sweats after I eat here. Not a lot of places are going to have that available for you. And on top of that, it's very reasonably priced. You can always find something that you want, fill yourself up, and it's always going to be less than $10 a person. Always. These guys are old reliable. Never let me down. Always order off the dollar menu, and then if I want to spoil myself, I'll get a value meal. And you guys ever had their Sprite? I would not describe a soda as spicy, but that soda's different. That soda's different. There's something about McDonald's Sprite that kind of vibe checks you immediately. If you fail the vibe check, you drop the whole drink. Fun fact. Anyways, moving on. I could come back to McDonald's and like up talk them, but they're an easy A for me. Non-negotiable. Dairy Queen. Now, here's the thing. I try to not make lactose intolerance a factor in this. But the fact of the matter is, as soon as I started having regular access to a Dairy Queen, I did become lactose intolerant. There wasn't really a lot in Tucson that I would go to a lot. And for a place that prides himself on ice cream, I might as well say never been. No, you know what? I have been. I've had their chicken strips and stuff. And they're, yeah, Tucson, Arizona. But at the same time, do we want to critique based on their food and maybe lightly on how some of their ice cream tastes? Because the fact that I boom boom when I have ice cream isn't fun rating this one. I don't think this is fair. I feel like I can't give this one a fair rating. If I had to give them an impulsive rating, I'll give them a C. Because their food is actually kind of overpriced. But their ice cream does taste good. I think this is fair. But I could just as easily say never been, and that's just as respectable in my case too. We'll leave them C. We'll leave them C. That's fine. All right, ready? Pizza Hut. This one might be a mildly hot take. I'm on the fence here. It's not an F. It's not a D. It's a low B for me. It's a low B. The reason why is there's something different about the lunch buffet. Like, that's not bathed in grease somehow. Wing Street, also highly underrated too, if you can get it fresh too. I could very easily make an argument for C, but because I like their wings, I don't think I could go lower than C. But their actual pizza itself, when you get it delivered, it's not good. I don't really like it that much. But they, along with Domino's, actually do listen when I say light cheese, please. Papa John says, fuck it, you're gonna die today. I say, can I get light cheese, please? You wanna die? Okay. I'm from the Pacific Northwest. Give Starbucks an S. I can't. They're overpriced. I only like 2 things on the menu. I like the cinnamon dolce latte, and I like the peppermint hot chocolate. Their food's really overpriced too. Like, when I go, so I play in Mill Creek, along that trail there, for those of you, Bean knows where that is, and Adi probably does too. In fact, Bean was probably there today, but we meet up at a Starbucks, everybody that plays there, and you'll get your food, you'll get your coffee, and then when I play Community Day, like in Everett too, the meetup there is the Starbucks there. So I will usually start my Community Day or my major Pogo event at a Starbucks. Oh, I have a really funny photo to show you guys, actually. I'll pull it up on Discord or Twitter later, because screen recording kind of weird. But Starbucks is a B. I have shittier taste in coffee, and they're a little overpriced. There's no reason why I get a coffee, a morning bun, and an egg sandwich, and I'm suddenly paying like $15 just to fill myself up for the morning. Way overpriced for how common they are. But I respect the quality of the food, and I respect the convenience of the locations. If I want to spoil myself, I'll go here sometimes. B's okay. Steak and Shake, I think I've been here once. These guys hit hard. I can't remember when I went. It's definitely been a couple years ago. It's been a while. These guys are easy A. Easy A. I can't remember the exact details of when I've been, but I had a blast with it. This is a mid to high A for me. Like, for whatever reason, the memory of it is scrubbed from my mind. But I remember I had a blast. So, the Krusty Krab pizza is, in fact, the pizza for you and me. Their service looks great, but I cannot stand that dude that works at the counter. He keeps talking about like how he wants me to join his band, and he only plays a clarinet. And even though I was a clarinet player in high school, this guy's trash. He won't shut up. The manager's super stingy too. But that dude that cleans the tables and the head chef in the back, he brings it all together. Plus memes. Nah, sincerely, if I was to rate him based on that, it'd probably be high A. Squidward ruins the experience, and Mr. Krabs trying to sell me weird shit. No, we don't have an actual... I'm basing it specifically on the restaurant experience. Plus, I really like SpongeBob, so... Waffle House. Waffle House... There's something you have to know about Waffle House. No, I'm pretty sure this is an actual meme. This is straight up memes. Never been, in honest sincerity. I've had to base it off the information I know, it would be A. But... Never actually been to a real Krusty Krab. Did I really lose that many viewers because I've never been to a real Krusty Krab? I just said it's the pizza for you and me. But I'm sorry, I've never been to a Krusty Krab. I've never been to a Krusty Krab. I apologize. Any Waffle House in Washington? There's a few in Tucson. And I've been a few times. Incidentally enough, all 3 times I've been to a Waffle House, I've been either hungover or drunk off my ass. This is the real Wendy's experience, or the Denny's experience for me. But the thing about Waffle House specifically is these guys will not close unless there's a natural disaster happening. So the fact that Waffle House is closed for COVID That's serious shit. They're on the same level as Disneyland in terms of how often they close. They will never close. They're open a lot. So for consistency alone, they're pretty there. It's a crisis indicator whether or not Waffle Houses are open. If Waffle House is not open, you should not be outside unless it's an emergency. These guys are open all the time. Major truck stop central. The handful of times I've been drunk off my ass, waitresses and waiters have all been sweethearts to me. Food's been great, always reasonably priced, open at an amazing hour. Nah, sometimes they do other stuff too. But I rate them above Denny's for sure. I think we can agree that they're a very easy cut above Denny's. But I don't have any near me. I have an IHOP less than 3 minutes from me. I gotta give it to IHOP on location. But this is a mid to very high B for me. If I had them around more, I'd probably put them on the same tier, but because I haven't had them in a while, I kind of got to put them there. Church's Chicken. This one's unfair because there used to be one next to a Wingstop, and then kitty cornered across the street was the Carl's Jr. too. So I didn't really go that often. But with such juggernauts like Popeyes, KFC slugging hard with the famous bowl and the regular stuff too. Based on what I remember, if they were fresh, low B. Low B. Friendlies. Never been to Friendlies. This could even be negotiated to high C because I haven't been in such a long time. Johnny Rockets? Where's Cree? Is Cree here? Me and Cree, one of my moderators that I've known for a while, she came up to hang out during PAX. And when we ate at Pacific Place and we had Johnny Rockets. So I have super fond memories of that, hanging out with online friends there. And then just hanging out at PAX in general and eating at Johnny Rockets at the Pacific Place, like at the very top. Really good. I'm a sucker for like 50s diner aesthetic too. So they rock that all the time too. Never had a disappointing burger here. Easy A. Easy A. I actually think I would eat at these guys before Five Guys. But I still rate them below McDonald's because of availability. The closest one is in Seattle. Are you talking about Ruby Tuesdays? It's right here. I'll get to it. What about Nico's or any of the Berto's drive-thru burrito restaurants? Oh, you're talking about Tucson specifically. Nico's is the one that's more common, right? Let me shiny check this real quick. I didn't think that was going to happen, but you never know. Nico's gets a B for me. Only because that place right there on Speedway and Pantano, right across from the Fry's Food and Drug, kitty cornered with the Jack in the Box and the Arby's, there's a place called Potosino's. And if they're still there, they will offer you the best drive-thru burrito in town. If you haven't been, you need to go. Potosino's, if they're not on here, but if they were, that's actually an S. That's an S above Popeyes. That's serious. If I rate a local restaurant above a national chain at an S, you have to go. You have to go. That place is good. So, anyway, Del Taco. Fun fact, when my mom had me, and also in my very young years, up until like kindergarten, my mom actually worked at a Del Taco. And I don't have memory of this, but apparently she would bring me into the kitchen with her. And I'd sometimes get scraps from the kitchen. So, and on top of that, like, I can't remember how really good they are. Because it's been 20 plus years since I've had them. But, no, I had them once, kind of recently. Maybe the last time I was at Tucson. No, the time before that. Definitely the time before that. They were okay, is what I'm trying to say. I don't have any strong feelings one way or the other. I think if I had the opportunity to go to a Del Taco or a Taco Bell, I would actually pick the Del Taco first because I don't remember that much what they're like. Versus Taco Bell's pretty consistent everywhere you go. So I don't know. That doesn't necessarily reflect the rating though. Because I would want to go to refresh what my rating is. But I'll put them in C for now. That seems safe. Olive Garden. This is a... No. What do I want? Here's the problem. What I used to get at Olive Garden all the time was the fettuccine alfredo. I can't do that anymore. But the breadsticks are good. This is a high D for me. That might be a mildly hot take, but I can't see myself going into an Olive Garden again. Specifically when I have a local place called Bruno's, and that place is actual authentic Italian. You order the spaghetti, there are chunks of tomato in the sauce. Like, since having authentic Italian on a regular basis. But at the same time, I would probably rate Taco Bell lower. So, you know what? That's unfair to Olive Garden. Low C. Low C. Red ramen? Ooh. 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 I want to see what the chat thinks about this. Let me get some preliminary letters from the chat. A, low A. Interesting. A, B. Kind of nice, A. High B. I'm about to blindside you guys with the high D. Every time I've been here, my burgers are drenched in grease. The bun falls apart before I can eat it. On top of that, the one time my girlfriend ordered a salad that wasn't on the menu, I shit you not, they brought her a whole head of, what's the lettuce that's not the actual head? The one that's like the long leaves. What is that one? Is that romaine? I think that's romaine, right? Iceberg is the one that comes in the head. I think. Romaine, yeah. So, they brought her a whole fucking stock of romaine lettuce, slightly toasted. And they brought her a gigantic cup of dressing, and they said, we're trying this new at this location. This is our, deconstructed salad. Bitch, shut the fuck up. You sold her a stock of romaine, and you gave her a cup of dressing, and you charged me $8.50 for it. On top of that, probably 80% of my public fights with significant others have been in a Red Robin. I don't know why. There's something about that establishment that makes me want to fight. Makes me want to verbally argue with somebody. Also, this Genesect was trash, unsurprisingly. Anyways, based on my personal experiences, service was bad too. Service every time I've been is bad. I've never had good food experiences here. But once again, you hold me at gunpoint and you say, do you want Jack in the Box or do you want Red Robin? I will begrudgingly pick Red Robin. I don't know why. I don't know why it is. Every time I fought with Sam, it was out of Red Robin. Maybe because she liked Red Robin. I'd always find myself in Red Robin way more often than I wanted to. Fight over the stupidest shit, too. Anyways, Cracker Barrel. I hear this one's a cult classic. I unfortunately have never been. I'd love to hear what some of you guys in the chat have to say about it. But, I've never been. Dude, every time I try to throw, the ball glitch happens. And every time I do throw, the freaking Genesect attacks. I'm getting bodied by this thing. A solid B. Seems chill. I'd love to go. Anyway, Genesect catch. Big chill. I'll shiny check the pit of too. That's one of those places where I'm legitimately curious about it. But I can't. So, Dave and Buster's. I've been twice. I didn't hate it. It really just seemed like an Applebee's with a whack-a-mole machine. And beer. No, Applebee's has beer too. Dude, it's just Applebee's with tokens. Low B. Bob Evans restaurant. Never been. It's arcade Applebee's. If Applebee's and GameWorks had a raunchy night on the town and had a kid 9 months later, Dave and Buster's would come out as twins. Anyways, Tim Ho's. Living in Washington State, I'm about an hour and a half from the Canadian border. I haven't been in a little bit. I think recently I went up to Whistler and we got Tim Ho's on the way in and out. I actually had this discussion in a different stream too, I think with Salty Pig specifically. We were talking about whether we like Tim Ho's, Dunkin' Donuts, or Starbucks more. Tim Ho's is actually pretty good. I've only had them like 3 or 4 times, but they're right up there. I give them a mid to low B. I haven't had a lot of experience with their menus, but I always like how clean the restaurants are, at least the ones that I've been to. So, I don't hate them. I've got a lot of respect for them. Plus the Timbits, a little bit of coffee. Yummy. On the border. On the border, I actually do have experience with this one. Right there. Shit. Narwhal, are you still here? Or like anybody else from Tucson? Because I feel like I get to vibe specifically with people from Tucson on this one. Because I remember a hyper-specific location for where this one is. On the border, does that still exist across the street from the Chili's near that Target? Kind of near. I'm trying to remember what else is there. There's a lot of like, I think there's like a huge bank building. It's within throwing distance of a Target and like maybe an old Toys R Us. It's on Broadway, I think somewhere. Maybe a little bit past. I can't remember, but is that still there? That's ultimately what I'm getting at. Does that place still exist? Yeah, kind of close to Park Place. Not like super far, but not like super close either. Anyway, on the border, I got a really funny memory behind this one. My mom stole dishware from this place on multiple occasions. She liked it so much, she would clean it off and put it in her purse. I can count the number of times my mom has stolen from this place is somewhere. It's more than one hand. She really liked their dishware. I'm never gonna get fucking sponsored by this place. Which, I mean, that's okay, because I don't have one close by. Honestly, it can't... It's D-proof just based on that funny memory I have. My mom fucking stealing from On the Border. The food was pretty faithful for actually being a chain restaurant, and they have some stiff competition because being in Arizona, you know, there's a lot of Mexican restaurants. I think they held their own pretty well. I would give them... I'm going to give them the absolute lowest B that I can. Because I think I would choose them over anybody else here. But I'd still rather go to B-Dubs or Chipotle over them. Because I can find better burrito places. Krispy Kreme. This one's fun. They only do donuts. And maybe sometimes you can get coffee. I don't have as much of a sweet tooth as I used to. But I respect it. When I'm in the mood for a Krispy Kreme and I get a Krispy Kreme, it hits. It hits good. Hot donuts, cold donuts, room temperature donuts. Even dunk them in milk. Yes, lactose-free milk, that's a thing. Like, not like almond milk or soy milk, just like regular lactose-free milk. I still work with that. But I like dunking these because they make the milk a little bit sweeter. It's definitely a Pico happy to me when I get one. So, I'll move it a little bit up. Pretty good, eh? Pretty good, eh? I like it. Dunkin'. Ooh. Dunkin'. Ready? I'm on the wrong coast because I like Dunkin' better than Starbucks. Starbucks is everywhere, and Dunkin' is nowhere to be found. I've got some hot takes on here. This is hot take central. I have McDonald's in A and Chick-fil-A in D. But I love Dunkin', dude. Here's the thing. The only reason I can't rate it higher A. I don't live on the East Coast. I've been to Boston. And we had Dunkin' a few times out there. Have I been to Boston once or twice? Maybe once. Yes, I think once for PAX East. But we had Dunkin' a few times when we were up there. It was good. It was really good. I really like it. Here's the thing. I really like iced coffee. So how good your iced coffee is really kind of swings hard for me. So Dunkin', to me, has a better iced coffee than Starbucks, but worse than McDonald's. I like shit coffee. I definitely like shit coffee. You don't have to. I like coffee with my creamer, if that makes sense. But I don't like those like super big fancy drinks at Starbucks. You're gonna pay like $9.50 to get a tower of whipped cream. And then like, I don't know, a toy at the bottom too. Not that. Just give me a really simple shitty coffee. McDonald's does that great. Dunkin's kind of right behind it, and they got good food too. Easy, very easy A for me. A way higher A if they were closer by, but they're not. Baskin-Robbins, I grew up with these guys. Specifically Narwhal, if you're familiar with Broadway and Camino Seco. Right across the street from that Safeway there. And right where that new Walmart is now, actually. There's a Baskin-Robbins there. I grew up with this one before, like, when I could still have ice cream. On top of that, like it or not, fuckers, everybody, every single day is getting a sponsored gift from Baskin-Robbins. They are immune from getting anything lower than a C. As long as you're opening those gifts and you're accepting that, you can't rate them lower than a C. They're giving you free in-game resources. You fucks. You cannot rate this a D or an F. This is a high B for me. High B. Shame I can't have them anymore. I really like their ice cream cakes too. I used to. Carrabba's. I've had them. Oh, dude. I have a weird memory with this one. This is the place that I went to. My mom invited me here, and this is before I had a car, so she came and picked me up. And this is freshly after the divorce. So I actually met my stepdad at the Carrabba's visit. So we went there, we had the food, and like it was good. But my mom announced that not only was she seeing somebody new, she 3-hit comboed me. She said wake up level 3. Because she announced that she was seeing another man, she was engaged, and she was pregnant. All before the food got to me. I feel like if I have to, if I could go back, I'd give them a more honest rating, because I remember that experience more than I remember the food. This might as well have been a never been. This is a repressed memory for me that got dug out. This is, if there's a, can I add a tier? I can add a tier. There's a few I can put in here. Ready? Carrabba's. There's one other I voted like super unfairly based on the experience. I don't remember Steak and Shake. I remember liking it, but I gotta make room in A, because I don't remember my Steak and Shake experience other than I like it. On the border, I remember the food. It was good. No. So F is the actual lowest tier. This is not a bad take tier. I'll actually move this here, just to clarify that this is like, I've technically been here. I couldn't tell you. All right, I got some harsh words, specifically to the Cheesecake Factory, right outside the Seattle Convention Center. Fuck you for having 2-hour waits during PAX. And also the one right outside the Bellevue Mall. You made me lose a Snorlax during launch month because of your shitty service. Shitty cell service, I should say. No, that's not actually their fault. They really just seem like a glammed up Applebee's with more choices and slightly more expensive entrees, but like also proportionately better. They're a pretty mid to low B for me. That's fine. It's respectable. Just just like at the one, specifically tagging the one right outside the Seattle Convention Center. We're not friends. Beef O'Brady's? I've never been. I'm just going to drag out the never beens here. Just so we don't have to come back to them. Crystal, I don't even know what that is. Bonefish Grill, I've never been either. Maybe? Hold on a second. I think I have been to the rest of these. All right, ready? El Pollo Loco. Probably one of the more faithful Mexican food places you're gonna get, or at least like baked / grilled chicken places. I really like their rice that they serve you. This place is good. This place is really good for a chain restaurant, and their to-go orders always keep super well. This is highest of B tier for me. I remember their prices being amazing. Actually, no, fuck it. A. Low A. Would be higher if I ate there more often. There's not any up here. I miss them. I remember them fondly. It's a well-deserving A tier for me. A&W. There's one connected to the KFC that was down the road from where I worked. That was near the Panda Express. I would only go there a handful of times because the burrito place next door actually just kicks so much ass. Big shout out to Raleigh Berto's. If you guys are in the Mill Creek Town Center area, that place is amazing. We gotta go there, Bean. If you're still here, we're so going to Raleigh Berto's next time we go. I gotta take you. This place is legit. But let me see. Could I decisively say I'd have this over anything here? Yes. Is it stiff competition for stuff up here? Yes. No, not really, actually. A Pueblito. I'm never actually on the Fort Lowell end of town. That's definitely more on the west, like middle, central to western side. I lived on the hard east side. But I will not doubt your review on that. Next time I'm in town, we should definitely hang out and kick it at some of these places. So, interesting story about Tucson. I used to think very highly of myself as like the big PokeTuber from town. And then Nappy became a thing. We don't talk about him too much anymore, but you remember his sports team specifically. Or his Pokemon team, how it was the Tucson Terrakions. And then all that shit came out about him. And I've never been more embarrassed for my state or for my city. He barely even lived in Tucson. He lived up in that new housing development, like halfway between Tucson and Scottsdale, still in Tucson. That barely counts. I definitely lived in Tucson. Anyway, point being, I'm embarrassed of him. I'm the real Tucson hero. Stan me, follow me, sub to me, show me in love. Any ex-Nappy stands, cry more. Sorry. But back to what JTX was saying was specifically, I haven't been to a Whataburger in Texas. And I outlined this specifically, that Whataburger everywhere else and Whataburger in Texas, they're different demons. I've never had a Whataburger in Texas. If I ever visit Cree, I think that's the first thing she's going to do. She's going to take me to Texas. Or take me to Whataburger. All right, we're getting near the end. Ooh, y'all ready for this one? Godlike. My 4th S tier addition. None of the other sandwich places can ever compare. Firehouse Subs. Firehouse Subs is up there with the gods. And people are like, why do you rate Subway so harshly? Because Firehouse Subs exists. This place is great. I don't actually mind paying $13 for a sandwich because it's amazing. This place is amazing. But an argument could be made for very high A. But the frequency that I go there, compared to like how much I like their food. What do they have? They have this barbecue one, this barbecue roast beef one. I forget specifically what it's called because I haven't been there in like 4 years. Last time I went there, I still worked at Games. No, when I worked at GameStop, they weren't there. Yeah, I'll settle on that. I'm easily convinced that this is an S tier. Golden Corral. I'm halfway between what the fuck happened here and like... This is C. This is C tier. It's a buffet. You'll find something you like. And you just have to deal with kids running around. And arguably dirty, like, fountain soda drinks. Every time you go to buffet, you know what you're expecting. But I also haven't been here in over a decade. So, I'll give him C. I don't hate him. Man, will you do raid soon? I'm waiting for raid invitations. Here's the thing, my dude. Check this out. I've been live for almost 7 hours. I did the makeup day. I did my sets. Chat popped off. And they said, you need to do a fast food tier list if we get you followers and subscriptions. I'm just paying out. So if I get raids here, I'll do Genesect raids. This is the closest. This is not a Pogo stream. Also, this Blinding Light Sleep, I like that song, but I have to reject it because that's copyrighted music. We can't play top 40 music. You guys casuals? Hungry Howies. This isn't what the fuck happened here. I had them twice, and I have no immediate recollection of either of them. But I definitely remember the box. So, this is neutral. This is all neutral territory right here. Actually, let's move Steak Shake back to A. I remember the food being good. I just don't remember the experience at all. Hooters. I've actually only been once. It's okay. You go for the wings. You go for the wings, you go for the titties. Wings and titties. The wings aren't that good, and the titties are passable too. And that's not a Monka TOS thing, because that's literally what Hooters is. You go there to... You don't go to... Oh, man. That's going to sound terrible out of context, but... Hooters is not exactly the most respectful establishment when it comes to women. So, like... If you're judging it on the whole experience and stuff, it's alright. I mean, it's alright. It is what it is. Longhorn Steakhouse. Have I been? No, I'm thinking of Black Angus, which has a vaguely similar logo. I've never been. Outback Steakhouse. Low B. Low B. I haven't been in like 5 years, but I didn't hate it. I would love to try it again over any of these places. Yeah, you don't have any of these things out here. Red Lobster. If there's one thing I hate more than not fresh seafood, it's not fresh chain seafood. But the biscuits, though. Hi, D. Biscuits carry. Ruby Tuesday. I think I've been once. No, wait, I have. I have been. I like them better than Red Robin, that's for sure. And I think I like them better than Outback. Really? I could put this here. Or I could put this here. I'm gonna put this here. No, I put Steak and Shake in A. Even though I remember the food, but I remember the experience. I could do the same for Ruby Tuesday. That's a B. I mean, like, not the savory scones. Like, biscuits. Alright. Last but not least, I'm surprised I still have people here. I think straight up the only diehards here are the ones that actually want to see this entire list from start to finish. We're not here for Go anymore. We're here for the fast food tier list. No, I grew up in I was born in Mexico, and then we moved to Cali, and then we moved to Tucson, and then I lived in Tucson for about 20 years, and Tucson probably had 90% of these here. And then I moved to Washington in 2012, and it pretty much had the rest of these. So I have a good amount of experience with a good chunk of these. Just a lot of these I'm finding are like A, imaginary, and B, like East Coast stuff. Like never heard. I've heard of Zaxby's, but I've never been. So, and then our last one is Texas Roadhouse. Oh, clicking Texas Roadhouse. If you guys heard my stomach growling on the mic, I haven't eaten since before the stream. Last time I ate was I ate at 9:30, dude. Jesus. Easy A. That's the list. Hope you guys enjoyed it. So, quick recap. From the bottom. What the fuck happened here? Don't remember this, because my mom dropped some bombs on me. Don't remember this, but remember the box. And I've never been to White Castle. Frozen burgers are pretty good. They slap really good when you're high. Zaxby's never been. Checkers never been. Maybe. No. There's a different place. It's got like a blue checkerboard. Right there on Broadway and Pantano, next to the Entenmann like outlet store, there's a place right across the street from it. And I don't think it's Checkers. I think it's something else. I've never heard of this place. Never heard of this place. Crust Crab Pizza is the pizza for you and me, but I've never been to a Pineapple Under the Sea or even down the road from it. Cracker Barrel, heard good things, never been. Friendly's never been. Bob Evans, never heard of it, never been. Beef O'Brady's, this sounds like Irish food. I actually really like Irish food, but I've never been. Crystal, never been. What is this? Bonefish Grill? Never been. Longhorn Steakhouse, I feel like I'd like it, but I've never been. And I think I gotta pick a definite F. Which of these three would I not eat? You said you get a gun with one bullet, and you get to wipe one of these off the face of the planet forever. Long John Silver's is gone. Subway's on thin ice. If this was not on the list, I would have shot Subway. Arby's has the redeeming factor of sometimes their curly fries. Sometimes. Then, coming back up, ready? Chick-fil-A's, as scummy as they are, they don't make me shit myself. Red Lobster down here because I can't really order that much. Red Robin is edible and has slightly more acceptable business practices. So there's that. So let's actually sort these out, because I haven't done a deep dive like this with like this many people. As far as I can tell, I have 57 viewers. That count could be a little bit more flexible. It's been fluctuating wildly. All right. Olive Garden's going to be down here. Dairy Queen's going to be down here. Golden Corral will be down here. CC's will be down here. This is actually going to be a little bit higher. What's top of C tier? Panera. Denny's. Papa John's. Probably Whataburger. Applebee's. Golden Corral, maybe. Hooters. This seems fair from here. You gotta remember how old I am. I've definitely... And we do cook at home. Very rarely, though. Like, actual full-ass dishes. I do need to get better about that. Alright, so... Let's establish top of B tier. B-dubs. BK. Chipotle. I'm going to put Baskin-Robbins. Anything dairy-based automatically gets lowest in the tier, but still gets honorary being in the tier. Taco Bell. Sonic. Panda might actually go a little bit lower here. Outback, I can't remember. A&W, yeah, it goes there. On the border is... The border's pretty good. Probably right in front of Waffle House. That's good, that's good. Pizza Hut actually goes a little bit lower. Church's Chicken, I think, can go behind Panda Express. Yeah, that looks good. And let me see. Top of A tier. This is where shit's gonna get weird. That stays. If Johnny Rockets is closer to me, that would usurp it, but it doesn't. So that stays. In comparison between these two, I would rather have Johnny Rockets over Five Guys. Hardee's is the next one that isn't the big box. Annie Ann's always faithful. This place I think is lower A because I've only had it like once. Krispy Kreme, I don't have much of a sweet tooth, but I still respect it. Texas Roadhouse is fantastic. I like it a little bit less than breakfast food though. Dunkin', yeah, consistent. Domino's above Krispy Kreme. Yeah, that's good. Haven't had that in a while. I'll put this here. That looks good to me. That feels good. And then here, ooh. That's actually good as it is. This can change right here depending on my mood. But I think I like that. So my list goes here from best to least in the tier. So my number one favorite, ride or die, Wendy's. Never done me any wrong. Popeye's right behind it. In-N-Out, and then Firehouse Subs. S has to go through a whole rigmarole to stay up there. Wendy's actually goated. Any locals you want to go to Wendy's and like trade mons, lucky trade? Absolutely. Let's make a day out of it. Outside of that, solid contenders. B, pretty reliable options. C, decidedly average owing to either prices or circumstances. Not the best, far from the worst. D, some blatant problems with it. F, well, F for do not fuck with these. Can I screenshot this? Screenshot this. Whee! What is that between Steak and Shake and Krispy Kreme? It's called Cheddars. It's like if Applebee's got a Mega Evolution. But like for the same price. Applebee's walked so Cheddars could run. It's really good. It's really good. Anyways, fellas, that's it. That was a 7-hour stream. That didn't feel like it at all. My voice is a little sore, so you'll have to forgive me if tomorrow's stream I'm a little bit more brief. But thank you so much for everybody hanging out. Actually had a lot of legitimate viewers up until the fast food part. The sets were great. Let's get a recap on that for anybody that came in late and wasn't tuning in specifically on that. And I ran this team in regular ultra. Oh, I can't do that. I ran Clefable, Poliwrath, Shadow, Snorlax. And got these results. It's pretty sick.